Hello Sagittarius, this is Teresa from TarotByT.com, and I'm getting ready to do your November Love TarotScope. And before I do that, I want to shake the bells and bring in some good energy. Bells, ringing of the bells calls in the angels. It's an ancient Tibetan custom. So we want to create some sacred space around this reading. And I want to thank you for liking my channel, for subscribing, for commenting. I appreciate all the support and the wonderful comments. And thank you also for those of you who have purchased a reading. And for those of you who wish to purchase a reading, just check out my website at TarotByT.com. And all the details are there. I can do email, I can do Skype, I can do phone. There are several options. So anyway, let's get back to November and what's coming up for Sag in November. What does Sagittarius need to know about love and life in November? What do Sagittarians need to know about love life in November? It's going to be your birthday coming up. At the end of November, we move into Sag. So happy birthday, Sag. Happy birthday, Scorpios are at the beginning and Sages are at the end of November, coming into December. So, let's see. What is going on with Sag? What do we need to know about Sagittarius? What does Sagittarius need to know about love in November? Okay, let's see what we have. The Knight of Wands. I can't speak today. The Nine of Swords. The Eight of Swords. The Chariot. The Knight of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups. The Four of Swords. The Nine of Cups. The Queen of Swords. And the Knight of Cups. The Knight. Oh, you have 3 knights in this reading. Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's see. Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands energy, whenever I see that, I always think of someone changing their job or changing their location, like moving. So you might be thinking about a change of residence. Or you could be changing jobs and that might require a change of residence. But you're ready for adventure. You're tired of the same old, same old. And you might be worried about something because you have the Nine of Swords crossing this. So you are mentally stressed in November, or you have been. You start the month off stressed. Maybe you've been working really hard and you need some rest, because I see the Four of Swords here. You're recovering from a period of stress that you've been through. I know that September and October were kind of rough months for everyone. We had some powerful aspects astrologically, where a lot of new things with the eclipses, a lot of change, sudden movement, and then with the Mars and Pluto coming together in October and Uranus involved in the new moon and the full moons. A lot of surprises, a lot of information coming up and having to act on things suddenly. So if it doesn't represent a change of job or residence, you could be dealing with someone who is a lot of fun, but maybe not so reliable. And maybe you're concerned about a relationship with someone who can possibly be a heartbreaker. Maybe you're not sure about this person. You're not sure if you can trust them. Because they're kind of like they promise a lot of stuff, but they don't deliver. And that's worrying you. The Nine of Swords, you could also be worrying about someone who's going through a difficult time. Maybe they have a health condition. If it's not, you're worried, or you're so stressing, your mental stress could be causing you can be affecting your health in some way. So you have to kind of get a grip and stop stressing yourself out, or it will affect your health. You need to take it easy. You need to relax. You need to take care of yourself in November. Give yourself a break. You've been really working really hard, maybe pushing yourself a little too hard lately, so you need to rest. With the Eight of Swords in the past, you may feel like you're trapped in some situation. Or you were in the past, you were feeling trapped, like I can't move out of this, I don't know, damned if I do and damned if I don't. That's the kind of feeling. You're feeling like your options are limited. And you've been afraid to take a stand and to move and to take action. And that's unusual for a Sagittarian, because usually the fire signs are very proactive. They're not ones to sit around and wait. They usually are the ones that want to stir things up. So for you to be feeling trapped and stymied or stifled, it's I think it's more of a mental thing, a mental block, than an actual physical circumstances. Because if you look at this card, there are no bars in front of this person. So the prison is really one of the mind. When you say, I can't, and you're having a negative perception of what your potential is. But I feel, though, that even though you were trapped in the past, some opportunity maybe have come up that would help free you. Because I see you moving towards something, maybe a new career path or a new opportunity comes up, because the Chariot here is a victory card. But the problem was, in the past, that you were too scattered. Maybe you had too many irons in the fire. And I see that theme again with the Seven of Cups. You're stuck in the choices. Do I do this? Do I do that? You have all these options open to you. And you're not sure which one to take. Which one do I focus on? I like to do this, and I like to do that, and I like to do the other thing. And as a Sagittarian, you want to do it all. Because Sagittarian, you're ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the optimist. Jupiter takes on more than they can handle. You have to watch that. Sometimes, you overcommit, or you say, I can do it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what did I say? And now you have all this work to do, and it's impossible. And you're like, this is impossible, I can't do this. But you're going to die trying. So with the Chariot, the message is focus. You can't do it all. You have to realize that. Choose the thing that means the most to you and focus your energies there. And with that, you will achieve victory. If you focus on one or two goals and not have your energies spread out in so many directions that you're not making an impact anywhere, because you got your fingers in too many pies. So you can be this can give you victory, but you have to be in control of your mind, not the other way around. With the Nine of Swords, there's mental stress, and mental stress comes from monkey mind. When your thoughts are racing, you're up at night, you got all these worries, your mind is imagining all these possible scenarios of what could go wrong, and because you are worried about so many potential things that could go wrong, you're so afraid to fail. Like, if I take this one step, what if that goes wrong? Or what if I take this step and that goes wrong? It's paralyzing you. Your fear of failure is paralyzing you. So you have to just say, you know what, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to put myself out there. So what if I fail? If I fail, I will just adjust my behavior, I'll adjust my strategy, and I'll try something else. No one goes through life without experiencing failure. When you read all the success stories of these famous people, they had a lot of failure on the path to success. They didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to build this empire, and everything, all the doors opened up and green lights all the way. It doesn't happen. That's not reality. Reality is, okay, I'm going to try this thing. Okay, and they have had failures. Okay, this plan didn't work. This was a failure. That was a failure. But they kept trying. The main thing is they kept trying. and eventually they became successful. They found something that did work. So if you're going to try to avoid failure, you will never do anything. You'll be like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm afraid of failure. You have to, I always think of the line about Babe Ruth that people quote, where they say, Babe Ruth hit more home runs than anyone in baseball. I don't know. Now it might be different, but at the time, but he also struck out more than anyone else. So failure and success, it's part of the path. So you can't be afraid to fail. You have to put yourself out there, take a risk, and whatever happens, happens. And you will learn from your mistakes. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You'll learn from it and you'll move on. And you'll formulate a plan. And that's what this card's about, this Knight of Pentacles. It's about having a goal, having a dream, and doing the work day in, day out. Willing to do the toil. Willing to hang in there and keep trying and keep working because you have a dream and you have a goal. And even though you're not seeing results now, that doesn't mean you won't see results later. But you have to stop worrying about getting it all right. Getting it right, all the time. Nobody gets it right straight out of the gate. And that's something we all have to overcome. We want to have everything perfect and then we paralyze ourselves. You'll never get it out there. So everything's a work in progress. Just put yourself out there and let the chips fall where they may, and you'll fix it as you go along. And here again, you have the Seven of Cups, which is being stuck in the choices. You're dreaming about potentials, but you're not acting on them. So it's possible that you have several options if it's not in either career or even romance. The Seven of Cups can mean sometimes you have several people that are interested in you. Look at all these knights. Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So you might have a couple of options of, romantic partners. But you're afraid to choose any of them. You're just dreaming about the potential. You're fantasizing about, oh, well, I could go with this person. And I wonder what that would be like. Or I could date that person, and I wonder what that would be like. Or I could have a really... But you're not choosing. You're just dreaming. So you have to make a decision. You have to make a choice. And I know sometimes it's hard to make a choice because you're afraid, well, if I choose something, then I lose all my other options. And I don't want to give up my other options. Well, that's life. You have to make a choice. And if it means letting go of some things to focus on something else, either a person or a career path, then that's what you need to do. Because when it's the focus that makes success. You don't want to be a jack of all trades. You want to be a master. So to be the master, you have to choose what's the path that I'm going to focus on and be a master of. Now you have the Four of Swords here. So you have been kind of a recluse lately. This is a card of healing, of resting. You need rest. Maybe you need to take some time out and really think, okay, what do I really want? What goal out of all these seven, look at this Seven of Cups. There's all these potentials. You can do so many different things. What do I really want? That's what you really have to figure out. Before you take action, you have to know what you want. What am I trying to achieve? What do I want for myself? What's going to bring me the most joy? What's going to fulfill me? What is going to speak to who I am? And let go of everything else. Pick that one thing, maybe two things. Whatever it is that really speaks to you, that really, when you think about it, if money was no object, what would I be doing? So whatever you answer to that question is, that's what you should focus on. And so this is a card of, you're going to need some rest in November to figure it all out. But you also have this Nine of Cups, so you have the potential to have a wish fulfilled in November. So whether it's a relationship, there could be a relationship coming up, especially with that Knight of Cups at the end. You're going to get an offer that's going to be really make you happy. It's going to feel like a dream come true or a wish fulfillment. You have this Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, it could represent you or someone you're dealing with, but I feel like it's you in a sense. You've been through so much that you have developed this harsh energy. And you're just so afraid of being hurt, and so afraid of being disappointed, and so afraid of things going wrong that you're pushing people away. You're saying, you know, I'm independent, I don't need anyone, I can do it by myself. Well, you know what? No one is an island. Everyone needs someone. So you're going to have to learn how to collaborate in November. Don't be the lone wolf in November. There are people out there that are there for you and want to help you and want to work with you. Work with them. Let your guard down a little bit. Don't be such a off with your head kind of person. Because I see this offer coming in. It could be an offer of love, the Knight of Cups. Someone very romantic, someone very artistic, maybe into music or art, poetry. There's romance in your future in November. But you may... So you need to drop your guard and stop pushing people away. Because this could be very nice with the Nine of Cups here. It could be that someone that you once knew from the past is coming back. This could be like, it could feel like a soulmate kind of connection. So I feel like there's something offered to you in November and you have to decide, do I want it? And it may mean giving up all the other options. So if it's a relationship, it could be if you're dating several people, you may have to decide, okay, I want this person, I'm going to have to tell everybody else I'm not available. Or if it's a career opportunity, you're going to have to choose what path you want to go down. But whatever you wind up choosing, make sure, take some time out and choose wisely. You have the Nine of Cups here, and you have the Chariot. So you can achieve victory. And a lot of times, once you make that choice, all of a sudden the universe opens up and things start happening. Because when you're afraid of the choice, your energy is blocking things from coming into your life. Because you have all these fears and you have all these psychological blocks. So you want to break through that. Break through your fear and choose. Once you make that decision, you go, okay, I'm going to choose this. All of a sudden, people are talking about this topic. You're reading things in the magazine. You're looking at an ad on in the TV. And all of a sudden, it's like when you decide to buy a car. And all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. Everyone's got it, you know. Before that, you hardly ever noticed it. Now it's like everywhere on the road. So life is like that. So make that choice and follow that dream. You have the potential to achieve it. So that's my reading for November, Sagittarius. And I wish you luck, and I wish you wise choices and less stress, less mental stress. I wish you some time out and rest and go for that dream. You have the potential to achieve it. So I hope this reading was a help to you, and I wish you many blessings and love and success for November. And I will talk to you again in December. Thanks, Sag.